know, there are some people that are in denial that history is being rewritten or has been rewritten for a very long time. But it really isn't that far-fetched, really. Let me ask you this question. Before being exposed to this program, what did you think of FDR? Most Americans are taught that this guy, he was America's hero. He grabbed America's arm as she was drowning, pulled her safely to shore. Oh, we were taught that America so loved this man. He was so popular that he was elected 4 times. Why is it we were never taught that he prolonged the Depression? That FDR waged a war against the Constitution? That after this man died, the body was barely cold before Americans passed the 22nd Amendment to make presidential term limits law? I mean, if he was so loved, why when he died, everybody's like, oh my gosh, let's make sure that doesn't happen again? That doesn't make sense. What about Woodrow Wilson? I hate this guy. I don't even want to show his picture. No, don't do it. Don't show his picture. I hate this guy. I didn't know anything about him. He's fondly brushed over in history class as a highly intelligent thinker. Really? Great world leader at the time of war. Why is it that no textbook teaches that Wilson was imprisoning Americans who spoke out against his war, World War I? Or that Wilson's high tax policies led to a depression in 1920, ignored in all of the history books? Why is that? Our schools have been so one-sided, and at any moment to get additional points of view included are met with great resistance. At any time that happens, oh no, no, no. That's not progressive thought. Right now in Texas, there's a battle going on what's going to be taught in history. Is it going to be in or is it going to be out? Well, it's going to be taught in government and other social studies classes. I know it's happening in Texas, but it's important because the publishers base their textbooks on Texas. So as Texas goes, so goes the nation. California, they make their own textbooks. They're so whacked out that nobody bases anything on California. They base it all on Texas. So there is a battle. Some of the battles being fought now aren't exactly things you would think that were ever in question. 78% of Americans say they're Christian. But Christmas is now being dropped from the important religious holiday list in the classroom. Really? Businesswoman Mary Kay had more mentions in textbooks than Christopher Columbus. Neil Armstrong, Daniel Boone, they're out. They're off the books. Neil Armstrong and Daniel Boone. Ask your 14, 15-year-old who Daniel Boone was. Ask yourself, who's Daniel Boone? Students are currently being taught the responsibility of being a global citizen, and that America is an imperialist nation. That, by the way, is a bad thing. Kids are left with the feeling that we should hold our heads in shame and we should have a president that apologizes to the rest of the world. Is that the America that you know? Not me. Boy, we've made some real problems, but we have tried to correct them. And as I study history, I see that a lot of the problems, most of the problems, in fact, stem from Woodrow Wilson and the progressive movement. I wouldn't have ever known that if I hadn't gone back and read original documents and original writings, original books written by Woodrow Wilson, and original speeches by Theodore Roosevelt. Read the original stuff, not what history teachers are teaching you, the original stuff. Listen to them. It's like reading the newspaper reports about what I say and then watching this show every day. Which do you think is more accurate? How will our kids even know the truth? Political correctness has infected our textbooks. Words deemed offensive have been taken from the books, like man. Yeah, man. No more male man or policeman, it's person. Tomorrow I have a special 1-hour program on the indoctrination that is happening in your schools. It's happening right now. All the things that politicians and activists and radicals are pushing on our children. Especially the politicians, extraordinarily disturbing. The battle for the minds of our youth is being fought right now. See, the people who have control right now are the people that were the radical dope-smoking hippies of the 60s. They're the ones in control right now. They haven't changed. And now they're at the highest levels of power. If we lose this generation, we're done. They know. They were there. If the people in power can go and get the dope-smoking hippies, if you will, now, if they can convince our kids this is right, they pop it. The pressure from the bottom and the top. Most parents aren't even aware of all the stuff that's going on in their school tomorrow. I want you to watch this show. I want you to call a friend. I want you to say, watch the show. Even if you don't watch, but you think they might get it, tell them to watch tomorrow's show. Watch it with your kids, 5 p.m. Eastern. That's tomorrow night. Back in a minute.
The real story behind Jim Bunning's last stand. Next.
Charles Dickens. Chapter 1, The Period. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief, the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. We get the point. It was the season of hope. It was the winter of despair. We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven. We were all going direct the other way. The Tale of Two Cities. I think if Dickens were alive today, it would be called The Tale of Three Politicians. Front page of the New York Times today. It's amazing. I got up this morning and I wanted to show you this. Look at these two stories, okay? First one is about Charlie Rangel. The other one is about New York Governor David Paterson over here. Facing prosecutor now. Prosecutors called in ethics panel verdict in Yankees tickets case. Latest setback. He's received free tickets to a Yankee baseball game. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not condoning that you get freebies that you're not supposed to get in office. But the intensity of the assault on this guy has been absolutely amazing, and it's been going on for months. These attacks have not been coming from the Republican Party. Oh, no, no. Oh, no, 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 my friend. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. First, he was told, drop your election bid by President Obama. He didn't listen, and so it was whispered. Did you hear? He's kissing some female friend other than his wife on the neck in a public restaurant. The guy's blind. Did he know? I don't know. Was that even true? I mean, I don't want a guy canoodling, anybody. He's a governor, unless it's your wife. Canoodle all you want. But that one didn't seem to stick. Then the reports came out fast and furious that the New York Times has an explosive story that will force him to resign immediately. Yeah, it turned out to be a story of one of his aides who was allegedly harassing a woman. Yeah. Now they're tying Governor Paterson to that story by saying, she came to him and he said, lie about it. Really? The Democrats are they're worried about that. It's just sex. I thought that would... And now, the Yankees scandal. He had tickets he cannot serve. I'm not saying David Paterson is innocent. I don't think he's a great guy. I don't know the guy. I have no idea. I don't really care. But the Democrat machine that is lined up against this guy is amazing, brutal. Now compare that to this story on the front page about poor Congressman Charlie Rangel under attack. Rangel steps down from a key post. A man responsible for writing the tax code who forgot to pay his own taxes. But no one in the Democratic Party was the least bit concerned about that. Oh, Charlie, he's such a good guy. Rangel's been caught in another apparent ethics problem now. How many times did he file his taxes? Files some taxes wrong. They're like, try again, Charlie. Okay. And he writes it again, turns it in. Okay, try it again because you still got it wrong. Okay. How many chances do you get? Now, apparently, he didn't go to any Yankees game. No. That's this guy. This guy? Oh, he just accepted free tropical trips.
paid for by corporations, but he didn't know. It's a violation of the rules, sure, but oh gosh, Charlie, you've been here. The story in the New York Times today notes that he's temporarily stepping down as chairman of the powerful House and Ways and Means Committee. This has been going on for Rangel now for 2 years. 2 years. But only now has it gotten to the point of embarrassment for the Democratic Party. Why the difference in treatment? Why? Rangel has been in office for 40 years. I bet Charlie Rangel knows where all the bodies are buried.